Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 21st of December, 2025. And I tried doing a live stream last night, and I literally spent 3 hours setting it up. I had all my tabs open. I had a lot of bases that I wanted to cover in one particular video. And I started the video out, and I was showing a video that I did way back in 2012 at the Georgia Guidestones. And for whatever reason, my streaming software wasn't allowing the volume to go through or whatever. I don't know. So I'm watching the video, believing that you're watching and listening to the video because I could hear it. And all of a sudden, my phone just blows up. Ring, ring. I hang it up. He calls back. I hang it up. He calls back. Dude called back 7 times, and he's calling me through Facebook. Somebody who I've never given my phone number to, I've never texted before. Even if I know you, chances are I'm not answering the phone if you call. Unless it's something that, I don't like the phone. I don't like communicating over the phone. And while I'm live, my phone just blows up and won't stop. I shut it down. So it is what it is. I feel bad. Kinda. But I'm going to try to cover some of the things that I was trying to cover last night. I'm just not going to go live to do it. So there, as they say, is that. Here we go. All day, every day, just blocking the sun. Lost a good 10, 15 degrees today easily because all they do is block the sun. I mean, this is insane, and it's right in your face, man. No, we're not doing that, but there it is. It's insane. Insanity. Barium, strontium, lithium, aluminum. The crazy thing is I'm trying to review that 300-watt solar panel, but I can't get any sun. So she's pumping out about 50 watts instead of 300, which really sucks. And nobody gives a shit about this. You want to know why you got autism? You want to know why you've got Alzheimer's? Yeah, the answer's right there, homie. Right there. This is live right now as I'm making this video. The sun is setting in Missouri, and you see all that red? Yeah, that's lithium that somebody's pumping into the atmosphere right now. Lithium is not something humans should be breathing, but they do this quite often. This is not something new. But if you really feel sleepy, depressed, sad, yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. But there you go. Trump, baby, gonna set things straight. MAGA. 3:30 in the afternoon. There's the sun. Notice the wide open spot now because there's no sun. But now they're spraying over there. And I'm still putting out 50 watts. I mean, you can only do what you can do. So I wish I could show you. The other day we had some good sun. We plugged this in, and the owner of this shop could not believe how much horsepower that put out. It was up in the 200 watts. Crazy. But sadly, every day they spray the sky. So trying to review how powerful this is tough. But if this was a lesser solar panel, it'd be putting out even less. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So Renee from Off Grid Trek just sent me another one of these 300-watt panels, and that's the one you saw me trying to charge. There was no sun. It was completely blocked out, and this thing was still putting out 50 watts, which is awesome. So right now, he is doing 20% off, no taxes, no shipping, and no tariffs if you use the code FREEDOM20, and I'll leave a link below. This is incredibly awesome stuff. This is it right here. It's the same one that I'm using. I just gave away my other 300-watt unit to a subscriber. And I'm telling you, these are absolute top of the line, straight up, no two ways about it, period. He's got all sorts of good stuff on this website. I've showed you this before. I'm not sponsored by him. We just have an arrangement. He sends me gear and I review it, and it's legit. Everything about it is legit. He makes serious stuff, and it's all I carry. And if you've met me, you know that's the truth. So there's that. So this is some snow that I got on the hood of my truck the other day, and I wanted to do this video numerous times. But those are snowflakes right there. You see them? They look exactly like, well, what they are. They're nucleated chemicals coming from chemtrails that are full of barium, strontium, aluminum, lithium, and whatever else they're putting in there. And here's the crazy thing. We are surrounded by so many frequencies that weren't around us when we were kids. It's affecting the snow. Because if you recall, if you're a boomer or a Gen X like me, you remember when snow looked like this. And this is because there was no Wi-Fi. There were no frequencies in the sky. This was all straight from God. So those were modern day snowflakes, but many of you that are old enough to remember, when it snowed out, snowflakes were incredible. These are actual macro photographs of snowflakes, real snowflakes, before we were completely surrounded by frequencies that don't come from God. Now, if you don't understand what frequencies are, this is what frequencies do to any type of medium. Ice, sand, snow, etc. It's all been taken away from us, but this is how it works.
This is sand, reacting to sound. By connecting a metal plate to a tone generator and pouring sand on top of it, the sand reacts to the frequencies. And the higher the tone, the more complex the patterns become.
That's crazy, right? But that's because we're completely surrounded by Wi-Fi, 5G, 6G, whatever's coming out of the low-flying helium-powered satellites that are going over us all the time. I mean, we're surrounded by this stuff, so much so that these guys have been able to change the makeup of the snow. It's crazy. It's crazy, but the snow tells the tale. Snow looks exactly like magnesium chloride, which is the little white pellets you throw on the ice to melt it. Snow looks just like that. I mean, I literally I had a video from one of my subscribers showing her holding a snowball, and it literally was catching fire. I used it in a video you just saw a few days ago or whatever. But this is absolutely insane. But here's the deal. They are using the weather like it's 1999. You know what I mean? That was a bad analogy. Whatever. They're using the weather to absolutely destroy places. And this is crazy because I started this road trip out. I spent most of my time in Montana up at Dave Morgan from the Morgan Reports compound. I was in Idaho, and I was in Pacific Northwest, Washington State. And all of those places are being devastated by the weather right now. Absolutely devastated. And a funny thing about all that is if you look into that, the top locations for AI data centers, well, look, because you're going to be amazed. According to the American Public Power Association, the list with the 10 states with grids best positioned to power AI data centers are, as of July 21st, 2025, Washington State, New Mexico, Montana, North Dakota, Idaho, South Dakota, Utah, Wyoming, Iowa, and Nebraska. Are you completely shocked? Yeah, I am too, because look what's happening in all those places right this minute.
2 levees broke in the last 36 hours in the Seattle area. Like, this is catastrophic flooding. We should see so much more about this on the news. It's only on TikTok, like a little on the Times, but this is a catastrophe. This is an emergency.
A gas station completely submerged here due to flooding. This is in the Auburn area. We're at 277th and Central Avenue. There's also a coffee shop, one of those drive-thrus there. Take a look at this car. This car is stuck here. The gas station worker pulled in here to get to work and had to just walk the rest of the way.
Now that's all insane, and it isn't being played on the mainstream news. They put little clips up, and that was it. But I'm getting emails from my subscribers, and they're sending me these TikToks because I do not go on TikTok whatsoever at all. I thought it was the wave of the future like a year ago, and then I discovered what it actually is. It's an absolute weapon. It's a weapon. It's not like Instagram. It's not like Facebook. It's not like YouTube. It's way, way, way worse. They're all data gathering techniques, but TikTok is actually a weapon used to completely steal your time. I got these clips from subscribers. I don't use AI. I don't use AI to make thumbnails, and I don't go on TikTok, and you shouldn't either, but it is what it is. But speaking of using the weather to destroy places that they need, which is ironic, which is really ironic, because if they can't wipe you out, they build a data center, and next thing you know, your water bill goes up, your electricity goes up. And look at this. This is just disgusting. Billionaires don't even pay taxes in any way whatsoever at all, and that didn't used to be a thing. It is now, but not anymore. No big deal, because Trump's here. Trump's a billionaire, dude. He's one of them. I don't know how to explain this anymore. I just can't. I don't know how to explain it anymore. But look at this. These scumbags don't pay taxes. They're the richest people on earth, but they don't pay taxes. Jeff Bezos can literally go to bed and wake up the next day and be $2 billion richer, but they don't pay taxes. It isn't a secret. It's in all the magazines. They all know about this, and people don't say shit about it. Do you remember last year where I owed $13,000 and I let it slide for 2 months and it went right up to $27,000 and I paid it quickly because I had no choice? I mean, this is amazing. Amazing. You got to hit a YouTuber who isn't even monetized for 27 grand. $14,000 worth of extortion, but if you're a billionaire, hey, nothing to see here, folks. It's all good. But speaking of the weather, pay attention to this story because I got in contact with this guy and I'm going to go out and meet him while I'm in the area.
More jobs may be on the way to one tri-state community. That is, if the residents there want them. One of the world's largest AI companies is aiming to build another data center. But as David Winter reports, there's resistance, including one man who is turning down millions to keep his land.
The beauty of the land just outside of Maysville, Kentucky is undeniable. Pristine creeks, rolling hills, fertile farmland. It's where Dr. Tim Grosser, about 30 years ago, bought 2 parcels of land, a total of 250 acres.
My grandson loves to come up here and hunt deer and turkeys, and it's just what we do.
Dr. Grosser has been farming the land with his son and hopes to keep it in his family for generations. But he's not the only one who wants to use the property.
For a project of this scale and magnitude, things change rapidly.
An engineering consultant for what we're told is one of the largest AI companies in the world answered questions last night at a planning commission meeting. The undisclosed company wants to buy Dr. Grosser's land and a lot more surrounding it in order to build a massive AI data center.
The data center developer is looking for about 2,000 acres outside of Maysville, including this land. The Grosser's property is just over that ridge, about 250 acres, but as you can see, there is plenty out here from which to choose.
But before the company can choose Mason County for its project, it needs landowners to sell the land. The market value for farmland here is about $7,500 an acre, which would make the Grosser's land worth about $2 million. The company's first offer was twice that, $4 million. Then the offer doubled again, more than $8 million. Finally, the company asked Dr. Grosser to name his price.
So why don't you say 30 million, 50 million?
That money can't buy happiness.
It can buy a lot, though.
Well, it can't buy that.
Tyler McHugh is in charge of attracting economic development to the area.
Are you able to do this without the Grosser's land?
It can be done. The scale of it might have to be changed.
And if that happens, Dr. Grosser's land may be left pristine, but it could also be butted up against a massive data center and be worth quite a bit less than $8 million.
So what all of us have to do is keep an eye on Mason County, Kentucky, because you know what they're going to do. They're just going to juice him. You know what I mean? There's going to be a storm right there that's going to take out his land. This guy is an actual American. Name your price. No, because he knows what it's going to do. All these things are doing is literally just sucking up all the power, poisoning and sucking up all the water, and they're giving off hums, so anyone that's unfortunate enough to live where they just built a new data center, they can't sleep with these things around here. I mean, there's millions of stories. Look for a channel called More Perfect Union. They cover all these topics. They just don't see the big picture. They're just like, why are they doing this? It's so weird. It's like they're trying to destroy the country. I mean, they don't get they just don't get it. They just don't get it. I don't get why they don't get it. But whatever. But we need to keep our eye on this guy's house. And like I said, I'm going to talk to him. He said he'd sit down and talk with me. I already mentioned to him that, and he knew that this was a possibility. So this guy is a stand-up guy. If we had more of them, people that didn't just sell up for the money, it'd be so much better. But these guys are buying everything up, and they'll take it by any means possible. Anybody that stands up against them, or anybody that invents somebody that messes with their program, you got to go. Speaking of that, I'm sure you already heard this story, but Nuno, at the age of 47, was killed. Somebody walked in and shot him, and these are tied directly to the Brown University killings. All three of these people. It's either this guy decided he was going to show people how to make free energy, or while working on things like ITER, tokamaks, he either discovered free energy and was going to open it up for everybody, because that's what this company was talking about. He was going to open it up for everybody, or he discovered that there was something a little spiritual about this that he wasn't aware of. Like, this technology's coming from some place that, this ain't no good. Something to that effect. But either one of these reasons, I mean, how many years have I been talking about ITER? Years and years and years and years. It's 50 miles exactly south of CERN in a straight line. It's the power source that gives these guys unlimited power on a massive scale. This is the kind of stuff they used to build the pyramids. Similar, not the exact same, but this is why this guy was killed. And the people at Brown University. And of course, they don't have any video or any pictures or anything, this, that, and the other thing. They just need more cameras so they can figure everything out for you. But these dudes don't mess around. They don't mess around. They want your land and you don't give it up. Guess what? Bad weather's coming. You figured something out and you want to show it to people to help humanity? Yup. With great sadness, I write to share the tragic news that Professor Nuno Loureiro, director of the Plasma Science and Fusion Center, died early this morning from a gunshot wound he sustained a few hours before. Yeah, they shot him, and then the other two kids at Brown University were tied to him. They were all working on the same type of project, and this project isn't CERN. And I'm sure this company will be gone very soon because Trump Media and Technology Group are going to merge with them. Isn't that insane? What a coincidence. How convenient. But this is where we're at, man. This is where we're at. These guys are, wow, it got dark in here, didn't it? These guys will take out anybody that gets in their way. If you say too much truth, you got to go. It's crazy. We live in an absolute world of chaos right now. And here's one other thing I want to mention. I saw this in the comments in the last video I did. Oh, Richie, everything's going wrong, but you're trying to sell people gold? Goldco isn't selling you gold. I'm not selling you gold. You're taking your money out of your retirement or your 401k and turning it into actual physical gold or silver that they send to you, so you actually have your retirement with you, as opposed to in a bank that is going to get completely wiped out because we all have to go to the digital dollar, the digital ID, and the social credit system, which has already started rolling. It's coming. Here it comes. Be ready for it. But if you're watching me and you've been watching me for years, your social credit score is 0. Mine, 0. Below 0. You see what I'm saying? So be smart. Get your money out of the bank. Turn it into gold and silver before you can't anymore. Things are picking up. I mean, they're destroying so many states right now to get their data centers put in. These guys aren't going to stop whatsoever at all. And they also smoked Colorado. Colorado had winds that were tornado winds with fire, because why not? Right now in California, San Francisco's got no electricity for days, and all the stupid electric driverless cars are stuck in the middle of the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. But we got to have data centers. We got to have digital ID, even though the electrical grid can go down at any minute now. Doesn't matter. We still have to have it. It's all a scam. It's all a big club. And fortunately, you're not in it. But before I show you that footage and we talk about Colorado and San Francisco real quick, let me just remind you of one thing. Some people are like, Richie, they confiscated gold and silver before. Yeah, that was a long time ago when people actually believed in the government, thought they were doing the right thing. The same people that mandated you to wear a mask, the same people that mandated you to get a vaccine, and the same people that mandated you to lock in are the same people that are going to mandate to take your gold and silver. Let them try. That's all I'm saying. Let them try. These guys are literally just taking over the world right in front of us no matter what. You got a problem with that? Out of the way, sheeple. We got, it's just insane how many... I said it when COVID happened, when I was at Mike Decker's house. I said, when this goes down, they're going to hit us from every single solitary angle all the time. But the weather is going to be a massive weapon. But watching it play out right now, it isn't no more. It's coming. It's here. It's here. They're taking us down one by one by one by one. Data centers are going up every which way there possibly is. And we don't even know what they are. To be perfectly honest, we don't even know what we are. We're speculating. But they're not. AI isn't solving anything. AI isn't doing anything except destroying the country and finishing off destroying creation. They're sucking up all the water. They're sucking up all the resources. They're poisoning the water that they're not sucking up. And they're destroying the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Look at the wind. Look at these numbers they're conjuring up. 112, 113. This is why I've always told people about geoengineering over the years, and they just don't seem to care. They just don't seem to care. But it's a God-like power. They can do things and say, well, even though you've got all the patents to prove that we're doing this, you can't prove that we're doing this. And people just don't seem to care whatsoever at all. It's amazing to me. I mean, you've even got places like Business Insider posting videos called Exposing the Dark Side of America's AI Data Explosion. And people, I mean, you've only got one story of somebody actually saying, no, I'm not selling. These things are just massive, massive, horrible things. Oh, they're creating new jobs. No, they do not. You get about 6 people for security making $12 an hour, and then everybody else works remotely. A data center is just basically your computer the size of a data center. You've got a few technicians inside there. You've got people working from remote locations, but there's no jobs. Nobody's getting any jobs from these things, and they're horrible. You can't even live next to them, apparently.
There's not enough money in the state of Texas to get me water that I have lost.
When they talk about my water, they're talking about their commodity.
It's immoral what's going on.
This is the front lines of America's new water wars.
A massive groundwater project could pull billions of gallons of water from East Texas.
They can take all of your water, all of your neighbor's water, and all your granddaddy's water.
One hedge fund manager claims that he can deliver billions of gallons of water to Texas cities that are running out. But he's made a fortune off a crisis before.
We're talking to Kyle Bass. He made $500 million shorting the subprime market.
And we made hundreds of millions of dollars in a day. And I sat down with my team and I said, this is it.
Kyle Bass's plan is part of a broader Wall Street trend of buying up water rights as water becomes a more valuable commodity.
Private investors are betting that in a hotter and drier future, water is the new oil.
I believe that agricultural land with water on site will be very valuable in the future.
Landowners and politicians are fighting back against this Wall Street water grab. And in the process, they just might change some antiquated water laws in Texas.
Democrat, Republican, black, white, everybody is in agreement. We got to protect our water.
The first stop on my investigation in East Texas was with John McCall, a lifelong Republican who has become an unlikely water activist.
Oh, thanks.
This is Texas.
John McCall's ranch is right next to Kyle Bass's property, where massive pumps could drain billions of gallons of water.
I've lived here all my life. My ranch has been in the family for 100 years.
What do you think of Kyle Bass as a neighbor?
He didn't apply for the Doctrine of Good Neighbor Award because I would have thought I would have got a phone call.
This is our cold water pressure in the kitchen. This is where I fill up water for storage. Those are the things we have to fill up to flush the toilets.
So you can see the sediment from the data center. Wow, and that's just from the water coming out of your faucet.
Yeah. And
if you want to watch all those videos, go to a more Perfect Union YouTube channel. Like I said, they cover all the topics, but there's no urgency. This is getting out of hand. This is way out of hand. And all these people are making all this money. They're stealing your water, but your water bill's still going up. They're stealing your electricity to the point where they're going to shut the electricity down like the poor bastards in Colorado because of the wind, because we couldn't figure out how to make our power grid that they've been telling us since I've been on YouTube. It's completely unsafe. It's faulty. Trump should have came into office right off the bat. Make America great again. We're going to do new power grid from the east to the west, north to the south. Does it sound familiar? Because I've said it a bunch of times. Do you know how many actual people it would put to work? How many factories? How much? It would have made America great again, but it's not what they're doing. They're taking every resource they can because they're going to throw a match at the end and burn it all down one way or the other. You see what I'm saying? They have done this so systematically, it's amazing. Look at the farmers. We don't even have farmers. What our country was built on, man.
Just say I was at all soybeans and $150 an acre loss. You're looking at $450,000 of loss. For just doing my job, I'm paying an additional $450,000 instead of making anything. I've never seen a crisis like this. Without intervention, we're talking about generational loss of farmers.
In the last year, farm bankruptcies here in Arkansas have nearly doubled. The story in the media is that's because of Trump's trade war with China. And now that China has agreed to a deal, the crisis will pass. But that story is wrong.
The tariffs are a problem, but think of it as being in a coffin, and we're going to nail the lid shut. The tariffs are the final nail.
This crisis was here before he did the tariff thing. This is a crisis that's been building for decades.
Farmers here told us a bigger story. A handful of companies have built a global system in which they always win, and American farmers are lucky to break even, all supported by our tax dollars.
They're just laundering tax money. None of it stays in the local community.
And while our farmers are dependent on growing crops for countries like China, we import more of our food than ever.
The bigger story is we're very vulnerable to the whims of other countries.
They've done this all across the board. I've been talking about Bayer, Monsanto, buying up farm crops, making them GMOs, using Terminator seeds for over 15 years. And it's all culminating right now because we're running out. We're importing our food. We don't have to import our food. We don't have to, but we have to because that's what politicians are doing. They're doing whatever they want. They're not politicians. They're a gang. And they're stealing everything. I can't possibly stress it anymore. I don't know if this is everything I wanted to cover on the live stream last night, but I tried. It is what it is. And I got to try to upload this now because I still am in the middle of Missouri. And you never know if the internet's going to be here when you wake up. At any rate, Richie from Boston. I'm working on a video for Jailbreak because I haven't uploaded to that for about a month and a half because I don't care. I don't care. There's no, Jailbreak used to be fun. It was what I was doing and where I was at and all these other fun things. You know what I mean? And it's a monetized channel, but I still just don't care. This is more important than that. But I'm going to put up a video on how to defeat facial recognition and other things that YouTube's going to love. So look out for it. I'll let you know when it hits. At any rate, Richie from Boston, get your money out of the bank and get your solar gear while he's giving away 20% off with Freedom 20. Link will be below. I'm out.